5 minutes, I got the black V-neck on.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? Y'all is taking me out with these Kamala memes. What is going on, y'all? Welcome to another King of Reads video, child. I've missed y'all. It's been a lot going on, child. Like, I know I said it a lot, but it's been a lot going on. I feel like we're living through historic moment after historic moment. Like, what is the tea? We got inflation going on. We got the possibility of Joe Biden stepping aside, like, and not taking the nomination. Like, girl, like, it's giving LBJ. I'm not gonna hold y'all. We got to talk about that. We got to talk about Phaedra possibly coming back to Real Housewives of Atlanta. She's apparently negotiating. And I have some questions about that because we got to be consistent, but we know Bravo, y'all don't normally be that. So we got to talk about that. Jonathan Majors and this Meagan Good video that went viral of him looking like what is going on when Meagan Good was picked up. Like, I have some thoughts on that. Some folks might not agree. Some folks might. We're going to talk about that. Amber Rose on the coon train, like full steam ahead to get a pardon. And sister probably won't, and I hope she don't so I can laugh. Everything that Jocelyn said about sister was true. Everything they say about you is true. Everyone knows it. Everybody knows about Quad and Mariah having a lesbian relationship. What about your lesbian relationship, bitch? That takes me out to this day. Married to Medicine, iconic. Got to talk about that. Also got to talk about Tyler Perry in this new trash movie. I'm not surprised. I don't know why y'all are surprised. Like, how many times we're going to sit around and talk about the same things? We've been saying Tyler Perry is trash. All of the things. I just like what y'all want from him. What you really want from a nun, let's talk about it. But before we get into any of that, let's go ahead and get to this mental health check-in. Mental health, girl, let's be honest. I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all, girl, she might be down and dirty a little bit. This might be a lot, child. So, you know, I'm expressing my vulnerability and all the things like, girl. So, you know, if it's too much, skip ahead. Description tell you the next subject and whatever, the tea for today, period. But for those who still with me, thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. But yes, Spiral, child, there's a lot going on. I'm tired of survival. Like, I'm tired of being in survival mode. Like, I have to be completely honest. I'm tired of, you know, all the things. I just don't even know where to start, where to begin, because I feel like we're constantly in survival mode, and I feel like it's not good for me. I did have an appointment not too long ago, and I had to get some different antidepressants. Like, I had to get on some different ones. Like, girl, you got it. That other stuff that you was giving me, I think I was on bupropion or something. I said, girl, she had made me feel like I was turning to Jean Grey. The whole side, I was like, is the dark phoenix in my head? I said, I can't take this no more. So she got me on some Zoloft, but they said it take like 4 to 6 weeks to get in your spirit. So hopefully she helps me out, because, girl, I need it, because, baby, between this heat, inflation, this Democratic Party not knowing what they gonna do, like, what is the message? Like, everybody getting on my nerves. Like, everybody getting on my nerves. And actually, the patrons asked me to talk about, like, someone asked me to discuss, like, how to handle or how to feel about receiving so much, like, bad news. Like, I want to talk about that. We'll be addressing that on Patreon. Shout out to the girls on Patreon. Just got through doing a review on Tell Them You Love Me on Patreon. That movie, that documentary, that documentary on Netflix, I think that was the first documentary that I watched that made me question, like, why was it needed to be made? Like I have so many questions. The biggest question in my head is, what does consent look like to black people? Like, can black people consent? What does that look like? Like, me theorizing, I'm gonna have to call the theory girls and ask them. I'm gonna have to get on the phone, get on the horn, like, what does it look like? I'm pretty sure somebody has wrote about it, but I want to talk about that. Also got another video that's probably gonna drop today about desire and you know, beauty, because everybody seems to be shocked that we are obsessed with beauty, like obsessed with looking young and not looking like we're 30 when we're actually like 37. Like, girl, so many things. We're gonna talk about that. Yeah, not me having a commercial in my what's the name, but you know the vibes. But I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much, y'all. Let's go ahead and get to the tea for today. The tea for today is, I'm predicting that Joe Biden will not be accepting the Democratic Party's nomination for president. I don't think so. He currently right now has COVID knocking on his lungs. He is in isolation. I think that everything is going like it should for him to say, hey, you know what, I'm good. Like, he's already hinted, like, I would take advice if the doctor told me or something like that. He's gave hints, and if I see the polling, it works in his favor as far as like public opinion, because him having COVID and using COVID to, step aside and not, seek a second term, it works in public opinion because everybody knows what COVID is. Everybody has a family member or a loved one or even themselves who has experienced COVID. So that experience makes us like, okay, we know what that feels like to have COVID. And we don't like look at it as like him being like sick or something that happened or whatever. It looks like something that can happen to any of us, which allows him to isolate and do his stuff. Like, it allows him to be relatable and for him to not get too much sympathy to the point that it makes him look weak, but enough for him to still be able to like stay afloat. So him possibly, because they're saying that he might drop some tea the next, 2 days. It might be Sunday where he says like, hey, I'm not going to seek second term. I'm gonna tell y'all what's happening in the back. Those donors with those big checks, those super PACs and all the other stuff, they are not going to spend no money on Biden. That's what they're telling him. That is the power plays that are happening right now. Very much like, okay, girl, if you do, you won't be doing it with my check. Like, they're already doing like super PAC ads right now of pass the torch, where they're saying like, pass the torch, Biden, like, girl, step aside. Now, there's so many conversations and so many things about what does it look like. People talking about what happens in Ohio. Ohio has a law that if the nomination is not certified 90 days before whatever, like, it's not going to be on the ballot in Ohio. And that can go all the way to the Supreme Court. And then, what's going on with the Supreme Court? They're fully towards the right. Like, they're fully to the right. So, like, girl, y'all keep playing these games with us. Keep playing these games with us. And it's just like the bubble gonna burst eventually. Like, y'all keep playing these games. Because the fact that we're even saying the Supreme Court is supposed to be impartial, whatever that means. Okay, in the words of Future, whatever the hell that means. Like, they should look at it and say, oh, no, y'all not supposed to do that. Like, Ohio's law is making it more difficult for presidential nominees to, like, be on the ballot. Like, they're making it more difficult. The Democratic Party is not going to certify their pick for the presidential nomination until, like, a week after, like, the deadline. So it's just like, what happens? Like, we can be tied up in court, like, with this. So I'm just telling y'all, girl, like, be prepared for the return of the queen and king. Like, it's giving very much that. Like, girl, I have some things to say, but I ain't trying. They probably already got an eye on me right now, child. It's a lot going on. But yes, I do think that it's a strong possibility that Biden will not be seeking a second term. I think this is the best thing he can do, step aside. I think it would be disrespectful to not have Kamala, like, step up and say, hey, girl, like, I'm that girl, and have her pick somebody. I think we're already seeing a little bit of things in motion right now. The very, like, things happening online where people are using Kamala as a reaction and her laughing and all the other stuff is working in her favor because it's making her more likable. The more we see her doing this stuff, the more for us that it's like, okay, she's fun. Like, I see her, like, we are kind of doing the work for her. Y'all gonna meme Kamala as to the White House. Like, and I don't know what that means, take it, but y'all gonna meme her to the White House. Like, that stuff is going to get some more attention, and the more that happens, you know what, how I'm going to say it, I really truly believe that if Kamala is, I do feel like that some young folks are going to be here for it. I do feel like having Kamala will probably, like, energize the base enough to might pull this through. Like, that doesn't mean I support or whatever. That's just like me looking at it. Like, Kamala, like, it's already kind of happening. You seeing it. Like, we might fall into it. Like, the first black woman as president. Like, we're gonna meme that stuff in there. Like, it's happening. And I don't think people realize it. I would not be surprised if, folks are, not saying all young folks, but enough people are moved by the possibility of a young black female president. Like, people will like it. People will like it. And they're saying that Joe Biden might not endorse her. It might end up being an open convention. That's what it's looking like. It's going to be an open convention. where they're just going to say, hey, girl, like, you know, Biden is releasing his delegates, but the super delegates can't vote first, whatever. Like, who is it? Like, pass the torch. I'm going to pass the peach. I don't know what it's going to look like, but girl, it's going to be interesting. The fact that we're even talking about it, the Democrats need a win right now. Like, it's looking bad for them right now. It's just not looking that cute for him. So, girl, y'all tell me what y'all think about that. Move on, because I ain't going to get too political, because I know some of y'all don't really care. But let's move on to the mess as we talk about politics. Let's hop on the coon train with Amber Rose. Amber Rose is at the RNC, like she was speaking. Girl, them white folks had her up there. They even took the tattoo off her forehead and had her on the picture like she was giving Trump all his things. She even did a music video talking about voting for Trump and that Trump is a good man. He's a good man, Savannah. Sounded like a certified like slave. Like she was ready to be Uncle Tom and all that. She was ready to tap dance for her life. For Trump. And the girls are saying the reason why Amber Rose wants to tap dance and she's going so hard is because Amber Rose, the feds is coming out to her for them coins that she was selling, them Bitcoin stuff that she was doing, the scheme that Todd set up. Like, girl, they're saying that she's wanting a pardon. So she's going to do everything in her power to kiss up to Trump. And Trump is, you know, probably going to pardon her. I don't believe it. I don't think he's going to pardon her. I think he's going to throw her to the wolves. Now, all of this is a rumor. Like, none of this is confirmed. But they're saying that, you know, the Bitcoin stuff that she was selling was a scam. And they're saying that that's the reason why she's getting close and doing all these things, because she probably wants it to be removed. So she's doing everything in her power to, like, not like, you know, do no time or do like any type of situation where she's in jail. Like, she don't want to deal with that. So back in June, she tweeted something about, y'all ready for my coin to drop? Y'all ready for this? And, you know, there was a community note on the tweet that was saying, please beware. Amber Rose has promoted numerous crypto scams in the past. So she responded to the community note and she said this later on that month in June. I like to address the community note. When I made those promotional posts, I wasn't as knowledgeable about crypto as I am now. At the time, I didn't fully understand the nature of paid promotions in this space. I want to assure you that I'm committed to this project for the long run and we will be heavily involved. My goal is to provide transparent and informed communication to our community. Yeah, like, girl, like, if you're trusting Amber Rose for, like, financial what's the name, I don't know what to tell you. Like, and people do. Like, people really do. And it happens. So, Amber Rose, girl, like, you know, enjoy your, you know, coon train situation. I hope that works out for you. Probably won't. Let's move on. Let's talk about Jonathan Majors and Meagan Good. Like, girl, this video of Michael Ealy hugging and picking up Meagan Good in front of Jonathan Majors was making the rounds. People were talking about, like, oh, girl, like, what is this about? Like, what's the tea? Like, you're not picking my girl up like that. My girl. Like, it was a whole conversation. Folks were like, you wouldn't do my girl like that. That's disrespectful. Da 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 da. And you know, girl, I don't even know where to start at. First and foremost, men are banding together, like, online to say that their girls would not be disrespected like this. And other folks are reinforcing this thing of, like, this patriarchal, like, response to, like, ownership and, like, I just, like, two things. Let me clear my mind up. Like, you had men, like, come together and just talk about, like, how bad this was and da-da-da-da, like, y'all are worried about the wrong thing. There are women who are being harassed at gas stations for not being interested in men. Women dealing with situations of being in clubs where men are, like, you know, putting things in their drinks and just being disrespectful. Like, y'all are hearing stories of men in y'all, like, spaces sharing their problematic things that they do with women. And this is something that's jumping y'all up. Like, this is something like that y'all got to band together, like, to fix. Like, I just don't, the weakest links. Like, this is important. Like, this was so important. Like, not the other things, like, that's going on, da 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 da. Like, this is what's important. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. So yeah, it's a tragedy. It is a complete tragedy. Like I hate it. Like it just really doesn't even make any sense. Like why are we so worried about that? Like why is that so important? And also, second, like girl, like Jonathan Majors has been called out for having a temper. So for folks to be like laughing, we're all laughing at this. I don't know what he would do, like feeling disrespect. We know how men get when they feel disrespected. Like they're not going to take it out on the men. They're going to take it out on the woman. Like, why did you allow him to do that? I don't know. I just, things like this, like I am over the ownership in relationships. I'm tired of it. I don't want to be in any relationship where my partner owns me, like feels like he owns me. And I don't want to own my partner. I don't. Like all this stuff that we do, like to keep our partners like from cheating and feeling like we're disrespected. It is a hug. Yes, he picked her up. Like, did they kiss? Did they make out in the middle of Jonathan Majors, like standing right there? No, they didn't. Like, he picked her up. Like, I don't know. Like, this little subtle little thing is now like we're talking about somebody being picked up. Like, that's what's going on. Like, somebody being picked up. Like, if we really really sit down and think about it, we're arguing about this man picking up somebody who he's worked with in the past like that. Like, I don't know. Like, should Michael Ealy have done that? Who knows? They're saying the video is a little bit edited because he did speak to Jonathan Majors before that, because it made it seem as though he did not speak and he just completely ignored or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. But I'm just looking at this like, okay, we're really talking about this. Like, this is yeah, we're doomed. Yeah, well, yes, we're doomed. Yes, what else is going on? Let's talk about Phaedra coming back to Real Housewives of Atlanta. There's rumors that Phaedra is negotiating returning back to Real Housewives of Atlanta. I am not sure how to feel about this, given how Phaedra left Real Housewives of Atlanta, the things that she did, the things that she brought, you know, the attention that she brought with the whole story and made up situation about the dungeon stuff. Considering what that was and how Phaedra made that up, she should not be coming back to Real Housewives of Atlanta. If y'all gonna kick Kenya Moore out for her things and say that Kenya Moore, you know, what she did was unethical or whatever, you got to hold the same energy across the board. So if you're gonna kick Kenya off, you cannot bring Phaedra back. Like, you cannot do that. Y'all got to be consistent. And I'm glad that Kenya is gone. Like, I think Kenya did do what she did and she's wrong and she should be chopped. But we can't sit up here and say that that's not okay and then let Phaedra come back. But they don't care about that. Like, they care about the ratings. And I don't think Phaedra is going to save the ratings. Like, I really don't believe it. Like, I don't believe that Phaedra is going to give us too much anything. Yes, it'd be a cute moment for, you know, a Porsha and Phaedra freaking frack reunion, but it's like, girl, like, it's too late. We're bored. Like, the people are not watching the show like that no more. Like, they're not interested. And Phaedra really didn't bring nothing to Married to Medicine. Like, Phaedra is too closed off. She's not sharing anything. I don't see it. I think it's gonna be cute for like an episode or two, but like every week, I don't know. Like, it's complicated because even Porsha can't even film in the house anymore. She can't even film in her home. Like Simon has said, girl, Simon says don't touch the door with no camera crew in the back. Like, Simon is saying, Simon says, like, you can't do this. Porsha, stop. Like, you can't do that, this. Like, he is being messy as hell, and he's being even more messy right now with this Future situation. So Simon has two questions for Porsha. He wants Porsha to answer a question under oath. Did she marry him for coin, for money? And also the question of, did she have a relationship or anything with Future? Messy. Like, it's just Simon, like, girl, you, I don't know. I want to know, was Porsha really blindsided by this? Like, was she really blindsided? Like, she didn't know. Like, you can't, I just don't know if I believe that. Like, this is so messy that to me, I'm hoping that it's scripted. Like, I'm hoping that they know that they're playing this game, but I don't think so. And that makes me uncomfortable. Like, I don't want to go, I'm scared. Like, I'm scared. Like, I'm terrified. Yeah, I'm terrified of that. So, girl, I don't know. Last but not least, let's talk about Tyler Perry. and this movie, Divorce in Black. Child, let me tell you this. I don't know why people are surprised that Tyler Perry is putting out another body of work that is terrible. This is the lowest Rotten Tomatoes. I think it's a 0%. The rating is a 4. It's on Amazon Prime Video. This is Tyler Perry. If Tyler Perry was known for making good movies, he would not have to put his name on top of them. He would not have to say Tyler Perry, Divorce in Black. He would not have. He has to so people can watch it. And I think we're doing a lot of hate watching. I'm not watching that at all. I love my patrons down. Shout out to the patrons. Shout out to the King's Guard, period. Justin is not reviewing Divorce in Black. Like, I'm not giving Tyler Perry anything else. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm not supporting that man. That man who needs to hire some black writers, and some black, like, he needs to invest in black folks. If he has this money, and he wants to do well for the community, other than like gentrifying the hell out of Atlanta and pushing poor black folks out of the, the area that his studio is in, like, he will hire folks. But also Tyler Perry is anti-union, and we see how that works. Like, right now, Delta is fighting ramp agents and other of their workers because they want to unionize, because the ramp agents at these airlines are worked to the bone. Like, they are outside doing all that work. When it's 100 degrees outside, they are still out there moving those bags and doing all the things. Like, they are being worked, and they deserve more pay, and they deserve like better vacation times and all of that other stuff. Like, they deserve it. And Delta does not want to offer these things. They don't want to. They don't want to. So it's just like, unionizing is important. We're seeing the same situation happen with Amazon, and also with Starbucks. Like, folks are trying to unionize so they can get better benefits. My dad was a part of the union. He told me, like, a long time ago, the importance of being a part of the union, like paying union dues. That's something that he instilled in me. So I definitely understand it. And, just watching, Tyler Perry just like being praised when he's really not done too much of anything for the black community. We keep saying he's done so much, but if he's doing stuff and he's being rewarded for it, and he's getting coin from it, like, what does that mean? When you are profiting off of it, what does that mean? If a billionaire is giving $1 million to a charity or anything, and they're able to write off like $1 million off their taxes, it does more for them than it does for the Western. There should not be a need for a billionaire to donate money. It should be just like, we're taxing you enough so everybody is able to be good and everybody is being paid a fair wage. That's a whole other discussion. But yes, Tyler Perry, this new movie, Divorce in Black, more black tragedy. I don't really care. I will say one show that I did enjoy, Supercell. Check it out. Supercell, I watched that on Netflix. The graphics and stuff is trash boots, but I will say the writing, she ate down. The writing ate down, girl. Like, as many black shows I've watched, that's probably like the best show I've gotten that like understood like colorism. Like, girl, like, black on black. Woo, what's going on? That was good. Yeah, I enjoyed that. So yeah, that's all I got. And also, I love Megan Thee Stallion's album. Yes, we'll talk about that later, but I already did a review about it on Patreon. So if you're interested, check it out. Talk to y'all later. Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.